of these talks and see that reunification of Cyprus, which people have been working for some time.
Mr. Nigel Dodds.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I join the Prime Minister in wishing a speedy recovery to the police officer who was shot and injured in my constituency in North Belfast on Sunday night. Thankfully, he was not killed, but that was not the intention of the terrorists, of course. It's very clear, Mr. Speaker, that the political instability brought about by Sinn Féin's collapse of the Assembly is in no one's interest in Northern Ireland. It's also clear that their intention is to try to rewrite the history of the past. Will she make it very clear that the one-sided legal persecution of police officers and soldiers who did so much to bring peace to Northern Ireland will not be allowed to continue?
Prime Minister.
I say to the right honourable gentleman that, as he indicates, the political stability in Northern Ireland has been hard-earned over some considerable time, and none of us want to see that thrown away. He raises the issue of the current situation, where there are a number of investigations by the PSNI into former soldiers and their activities in Northern Ireland. I think it's absolutely right that we recognise that the majority of people who lost their lives as a result of terrorist activity, and it is important that that terrorist activity is looked into. That's why one of the issues that my right honourable friend, the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, is looking at is this legacy question and how that issue of investigation on all sides can take place in the future.
Maggie Throop.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Social care provided by Labour-led Derbyshire County Council is failing miserably, with serious errors in process leading to, quite frankly, shameful consequences for some of my most vulnerable constituents. This is clearly not about funding, as they sit on reserves of about £233 million. Will my right honourable friend instigate an urgent review of social care practice at the County Council, because the people of Derbyshire deserve better?
Prime Minister.
My honourable friend has made an important point in relation to this issue, which is that success of social care is not wholly about funding. It is about actually the practice on the ground, and that is why we're very clear that it is important to see that integration between social and health care at a local level, and local authorities should be playing their part in delivering that. This is an issue that we need to see addressed for the longer term as well. Frankly, it's been ducked by governments for too long in this country, and that's why this government is determined to bring forward a sustainable programme for social care in the future.
Ed Miliband. Right honourable gentleman, never knew he was quite that popular. Ed Miliband.
I was going to say, Mr. Speaker, it brings back memories, actually. Can I say to the Prime Minister that as the first foreign leader to meet President Trump, she carries a huge responsibility on behalf not just of this country, but the whole international community in the tone that she sets. Can I ask her to reassure us that she will say to the President that he must abide by and not withdraw from the Paris Climate Change Treaty? And in case it is helpful, can she offer the services of UK scientists to convince the President that climate change is not a hoax invented by the Chinese?
Prime Minister.
Well, I recognise the role that the right honourable gentleman has played in looking at this issue of climate change, and I hope he recognises the commitment that this government has shown to this issue of climate change with the legislation that we've put through and the changes that we have brought about in terms of the energy sector and uses of different forms of energy. The Obama administration obviously signed up to the Paris Climate Change Agreement. We have now done that. I would hope that all parties would continue to ensure that that climate change agreement is put into practice.
Order.